Sherry Agar for Ezra Levant. As The Sun reported yesterday, Aboriginal leaders were physically blocked from entering the House of Commons Tuesday, where they wanted to push for a voice on the government's omnibus budget bill. Following a rally on Parliament Hill, dozens of Aboriginal leaders walked into the Commons and spoke directly to Natural Resources Minister Joe Oliver. When Oliver walked away, because question period had started, leaders tried to walk into the chamber and guards stepped in their path. When that happened, there was a threat made to the guards.
Whoa. No. Come on, guys. We used to go into the House of Commons.
You need to tell these guys, remind them who the hell they're dealing with here.
No. We allowed them onto this land. We signed treaties with this government.
Okay, that's fine. Try to come onto our territory sometime now.
That us against them mentality has got to stop. It's killing the kids, literally. Ovid McCready, former national chief of the Assembly of First Nations, recently said, "The option for us is very clear. We have to make our own laws and ignore Parliament." Now, before I go where I want to go with this commentary, let me stop for a moment to ask this question. Is it possible that I don't know anything about how it is to grow up native on a reserve? No, it isn't possible. It's probable. What would I know? But I can read, and here's what I do know. Chiefs can talk all they want about autonomy, but their record, in many cases, is not all that stellar when it comes to doing the best for their people. As Colin Craig of the Canadian Taxpayers Federation wrote for the Winnipeg Sun today, imagine receiving a death threat because you called your mayor's office and asked how much he or she earned last year. Now, imagine for a moment that you kept asking such reasonable questions and the threats kept coming, not to mention repercussions, like your mayor somehow cutting off your income, stopping your home from getting repaired, and halting college funding for your kids. He went on to say that many consider the scenario above absurd or reflect on a tale they might have read about a third world dictatorship. But in reality, it's the type of unimaginable situation some people living on Aboriginal reserves in Canada have to face. No, it's not a local mayor treating them like that. It's their own band chief and council. What the Chiefs are protesting in Ottawa is a move to make their salaries transparent, as is the case with all politicians. I think we're seeing why they don't want that to happen. Let's take the Attawapiskat Reserve in Northern Ontario, for example. Canada's unemployment rate is under 8%. Several reports list Attawapiskat's rate at 60%, although the Toronto Star recently claimed 90%. It's safe to say you won't get a job on the reserve, but you have a decent chance of eventually finding one elsewhere. As much as tens of millions of dollars a year are pumped into Attawapiskat, a community of 1,500 people. Yet the community is a disaster. Where's the money? The Sun reported that in 2010 alone, some $34 million was pumped into that squalid Cree community, but not much went to improve the lives of the reserve's children through housing assistance to their parents. Nope. $11.2 million, a whopping 32% of the reserve's total grants, and an even more whopping 36% of its entire expenses went to the salaries and benefits of band leaders, all while their people's children were left with third world squalor. There's no arguing this. The band's financial statements speak for themselves. How does that happen? Chiefs are either corrupt or so mind-bogglingly incompetent that they're unfit to lead. If this was any other identifiable group that had such systemic and apparently culturally ingrained problems, we'd hold royal commissions on how to fix it. But we're afraid or are consumed by white liberal guilt. We cut them a check and hope for the best. Some natives are so mired in the past, they're willing to continue to destroy the future for their children, generation after generation. If the Indian Act is in the way of good local control, then we either need to abandon and then rewrite it, or better still, stop the insanity of the apartheid system we run in this country and make all people equal. Close the reserves and join the country. Agreements made in the 1800s don't seem to be working in the 21st century. To the Chiefs, I would say, as I've said in the past, if you care about your children, try something different. Because at some point, the problem's not everyone else. It's you.